club is missing.
Marcy?
Yeah. Your boyfriend said he hasn't seen her for 2 days. The last he knew, she was going to your club.
Her car was found abandoned in the neighborhood this morning.
I haven't seen Marcy. At least for 2 days.
What a fantastic weight reduction program. People get so thin they disappear.
Welcome back to The Average. We are officially in the swing of Season 4, and after the psychological weight of our premiere, we figured it was time to lighten things up. Tonight, we're heading to the gym, specifically the Star Body Health Spa in Los Angeles, for a movie that is the absolute definition of so bad it's good.
That's right. Tonight, we are breaking down the 1988 cult classic Death Spa. And if you thought your New Year's resolution was painful, wait until you see what this sentient computer system does to the patrons of Star Body. We're talking weights that tear people apart and diving boards that are spring-loaded death traps.
It's peak 80s chaos. Interestingly enough, director Mike Fisher said he came up with the idea because health clubs were popping up like mushrooms in LA at the time. He figured, why not put a vengeful ghost in one?
And it's not just any ghost, it's the spirit of the owner's deceased wife, Catherine, who is possessing the gym's high-tech computer system to take out her jealousy on the members. Fun fact for the horror nerds out there, in Europe and Asia, this film was actually released under the incredible title of Witch Bitch.
I think I prefer the international title, honestly. But look at this cast. We've got horror royalty Ken Foree as Marvin, and this movie actually marks the feature film debut of Karen Parsons, who went on to be Hilary Banks on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because an executive saw her in this on a late night cable.
It's also a bit of a bittersweet watch, as it was the final role for Merritt Buttrick before his passing. This movie is a time capsule of 1980s excess, the spandex, the synth, and those practical effects that honestly have no business being this entertaining.
To help us navigate the plot holes, the acid showers, and the sheer absurdity of a fish killing a detective in a food freezer, we have one of the best in the business with us tonight.
We have Aaron you'll know him from at Aaron's Movies 8587 and AB Horror Movies on Instagram.
Hell yeah. Yes. Thank you guys for having me on. This is awesome. Always happy to chat with you both.
Heck yeah. So we've got this 9-category scorecard ready to go. We're going to find out if the practical gore carries this movie to a high average, or if the Mardi Gras logic drags it straight to the basement.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you. You kind of cut out there for a second. You good?
I lost you guys. Yep, I think I blinked out a little bit. So, yep, Aaron, did you say hello?
I did say hello. Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
This is awesome. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Technical difficulties aside. All right. So did you read your part, Jonathan? I lost everything. Okay. So stay tuned as we break it all down. This is The Average, where the real review happens with your friends. Aaron, Jonathan, let's hit the gym.
Let's get buff. All right.
And if I blink out again, you guys just take it away. Okay. If I blink out, you just keep going. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. I'll figure it out.
Yes.
It is being poopy tonight. That is for sure.
Makes it more interesting though. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So diving into our categories, we start with the story of this one. This is an interesting movie. So let's start with the story of, we have Michael Evans, right? Michael Evans, who runs this Star Body gym in Yeah, it's because Travis is here in the comments from the nightclub. We got technical issues every time. We have Michael Evans, who runs the Starbody Gym, and weird things start happening. The movie opens with somebody dying or getting burned by acid in a sauna, but it's not the same sauna we see later. It's a different. So I'm not sure what sauna this is, because this one was tile. The sauna at the end is wood. So, but either way,
Maybe they closed down the first sauna.
that would make sense. That
That's
checks
got to have
out.
more than one, right? Yeah.
But we don't really know what's going on. We learned that it might be the ghost of his past wife, who doused herself in gasoline and burned herself alive because reasons that aren't thoroughly explained. And then her sole motivation when her ghost does come back is that she wants to kill him so they can go to hell together. That's like her motivation. I don't know. There's the premise of this, that the ghost is somehow manipulating this high-tech gym equipment that is all computer controlled. Interesting. That's a new one.
Yeah.
New one. I don't know of any other movies. So if we're going on the originality of this movie, I can't think of a single other film that is based on computer equipment running gym stuff and killing people because it's jealous. So I have to give it points for originality on the premise.
So with the story, man, there's a lot going on here, man. You got police investigating stuff. You've got a parapsychologist also trying to help Michael find out what's going on with weird shit happening. You got his business partners who are trying to sabotage him so they can take over. Then you've got, his past wife's twin brother being all creepy and weird and obsessed with his computers and shit. And then you got, his ghost of his sister possessing stuff and killing people. And then just it's very cast heavy. There's a lot of characters going on, and just insanity, just weird stuff, and just absurdity, just so much absurdity. Ugh.
Aaron?
Yeah, my God, where do I begin? I love that the gym is like the size of a garage, right? The main workout area is this tiny area. There's like 5 machines, yet you never see anyone waiting in line for a machine.
No.
There's just people randomly on the floor stretching, and everyone generally seems happy. It's not like that at the gym I go to. And I also love that the gym is the main area of the gym is a small space, yet then they have an Olympic-sized pool somehow attached down a different hallway.
Yes.
Different saunas. There's a creepy basement.
It's a TARDIS spa.
Oh my God, there's so much, right? Can you
Yeah.
imagine doing a tour? It's like, well, now we got to drive 5 miles. You can see the pool because it's clearly not all in one location. And I love that the dance studio, there's like all professional dancers, because when I walk by the dance studios at my gym, they don't look like that.
Yes. It's a beautifully choreographed.
So
every time we see this aerobics
Yes.
class, there's no one leading. They're just perfectly dancing in unison.
My God, it's like we're watching an episode of Fame. It's quite funny.
It is.
It's free dance. Free dance.
Yes.
All right. So we have a lot to pick into on this movie. If
Okay.
we're just covering the
I
basic,
digress.
yeah, no, that's fine. Travis says he saw this once a while back, but doesn't remember it well enough to do a rating. He did enjoy it though, and that's a key thing we'll get to later in this film. If I'm going on the originality of the premise, oh yeah, look at that baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
I tried to order. I messaged Valoria Video.
Yeah, I got this from Tony at Valoria.
Yeah, I messaged Tony and asked him if he had any copies left, and he said he did. And then I went to place my order, and it was sold out, so I missed it. So I missed it. But
Well, message him. He might have some still.
backup
I should.
reserves.
Yeah, I should reach back out. But if I'm going on the premise of this and how original the premise is, not how well it's executed,
Of course.
that comes later. The premise of this is pretty original. I have to give it I think I gave it a 4 on this one. I think it is pretty unique. I think it's a little convoluted. It's not clear because we do have like his partner that sabotaged parts of the gym, but then we also have the ghost that is supposed to be blamed for the same things. So it's a little convoluted, but it is definitely original.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the numbers that I gave it. It's almost like what is it? Chopping mall. There's
Yeah.
there's technology. I mean, there aren't killer robots per se, but the machines kind of function as killer robots. It's definitely original. You can kind of see that the folks behind it thought, let's make a horror movie in a gym, and then everything else just sort of fell into place. At least that's my take on it. But it's a fun premise. I don't know. It's not the most original stories, but it's a fun watch and it's a fun premise. I'm trying to pull up my email so I can see what I rated it as.
It's funny you mentioned Chopping Mall because
I can tell
when
you.
I got done watching this, it recommended Chopping Mall. After. I was like,
Okay, all right. I gave it a 2.
You did. Yep.
Okay, so the story isn't the best, but it's a fun movie. I'll leave it at that.
I gave it a 3. It had some funky stuff going on, but it was enough to keep me entertained a little bit. Yeah.
Now, did you buy that the wife would have burned herself to death? That seemed a bit drastic.
Dude, so it's weird with that because like the whole thing where we're not really sure what's going on. You have like the brother who comes, or Michael, or whoever it was. Which
David is the brother.
No, I think David came to him because of like some sick joke he thought Michael was playing. Because you see that spot where like the weird little thing looks like a fetus or something comes falling over from that table.
Out of the bird's nest.
The bird's nest.
Yeah, the bird's nest. So I think maybe that might have been a whole thing where maybe the wife lost baby and was not well after because of it, and then took her own life because all that didn't work out. That's my guess.
Yeah,
just because of that one part there.
And you mentioned Chopping Mall, and I just have to say it was like a year ago that we did the Chopping Mall review with Travis Ayers. But
oh, nice!
We got to get these schlocky fun movies in every now and then. But this that is not well explained, and I will definitely take that into account on the script. But we can talk about it now too, because he goes to the paranormal investigator. And that guy is like, I sense she set herself on fire. Like she was paralyzed during childbirth is what he says. Something with her spine during childbirth that put her in the wheelchair. He never says what happened to the child.
Yeah. Where's the kid?
He never explains that. So we can assume that she lost it. And that's kind of what drove her to pour the gasoline. But then it is never mentioned again. The child is never mentioned by Michael. It is never mentioned by the ghost of Catherine later. It is never brought back up.
Back over here, hidden away where no one really cares anymore. After that.
I do think that's an interesting part of it, though, is explaining why she went into this. But this can go into our character, which is our next category, our characters and our character arcs. I put in my notes that she is Evan from the chat, he scored this a 4 as well. But I put in here in my notes, where did I say it? Basically, I put that they do not make Catherine, his ex-wife, out to be a likable person at all. In everything that they talk about. Basically, I think we're supposed to sympathize with her with the childbirth thing, but because they never explain what happened to the kid, it basically just sounds like she went crazy, and because she couldn't walk anymore, she killed herself. And that YouTube's going to take that down because I said that instead of self anyways. But yeah. So I don't really sympathize with her in that whole situation. I'm not feeling it. But then she comes back and she's just killing everybody out of jealousy. For why?
And at the gym, no less.
Yeah, and it's just random people. It does start with female patrons. She does target female patrons, and he does seem to be flirty with every single one of them.
Oh, he's trying to get it.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to get it everywhere from all of them.
Yeah.
You don't think he's devastated by his dead wife? You don't think?
When that
kidding.
girl falls, when the diving board falls off, and that girl is like
How
traumatized.
funny was that? Yeah.
He is wrapping that towel around her, hand on the back of her head, holding her close. I was like, this isn't the first time. This patron's getting special treatment.
I love that his girlfriend comes home after being in like the intensive care, right? She's got bandages on her eyes. She can't see. The first thing they do is have a romantic candlelight dinner and snuggle and make out on the couch. I'm thinking, what the hell? And not only that, she put on like a black night dress and makeup and did her hair. She just has bandages over her eyes and third-degree burns over most of her body. But
that's what you need to do right after something like that. Get super romantic and all cuddly and shit. Like, oh man,
her burns healed so well in the one day she was in the hospital because all that was left was her eyes. Her eyes were the only things left damaged. And that is probably the sexiest asparagus eating scene I think I've ever seen. That is
for sure. Yes.
I've never seen asparagus get me hot and bothered like that one. So it's an entertaining scene.
Try it with
hey baby,
bandages
take
on
my
your
asparagus.
It is yeah. So if we're going on the characters, so this movie fails to make Catherine a sympathetic ghost, which is fine. She's technically the villain. It also fails to give Michael any kind of character arc, any kind of growth from beginning to end. He is always reacting to stuff. He is never proactive. Not once does he think after 2 major accidents happen and 2 people almost die in his gym within 24 hours from the opening scene to the diving board. Not once does he think maybe I should close this down. Instead, he is the opposite and going, I got to have this Mardi Gras party because I made so much money. We got to keep it open. I want to make the money. And he doesn't change from that.
Right. He even brought in the disco dance floor for the party.
He did.
Quite lively.
I think the only thing that changes is probably David, the twin brother. And he doesn't change all that much, but he literally changes into Catherine at one point. So the character arcs on this were a rough one for me. I don't see much character arc. I see characters existing. They're there. We're not seeing a lot of growth. There's not a lot of development. He's not traumatized by this arc at all. He's just kind of like, Catherine, you're dead. Let me be with Laura. She's hot. Like that's the plot.
Even with bandages on her eyes.
Yeah.
I love the one scene when the tiles fly off the shower. I mean, first of all, there's like a group shower with like 12 naked women all at once. Totally plausible. And then the tiles fly out and like mutilate them. And he says, I'll give you 3 months free membership. And they're like, okay.
Okay, so I actually put that one in my notes because I thought it was fantastic. That whole scene, because
that whole scene, yeah.
Yes. Oh man, going through my notes, it's hard to keep them organized because I went chronologically on my notes, of course. So
he also doesn't change his underwear.
I was like, what the hell? Got that manly funk.
There's that whole sequence when he's like running around with just a leather coat and no shirt on. It's like, well, I guess that's a statement in some way. He's knocking on people's doors. He's at the gym.
Okay. It's LA in the 80s, dude.
Yeah, totally in the 80s, right? Yeah.
So
I'm going to wear a leather coat.
I found my spot. This movie is, and this take it into the editing category as well. It's almost got a rule that like every 10 minutes there has to be blood or nudity. It's one or the other. Every 10 minutes something has to flash up on the screen. But we have that shower scene, which happens at 23 minutes in, and it's the second time that we see full nudity on screen. And somehow there's acid showers and tiles flying off the wall, but I'm not exactly sure how a possessed computer is in charge of those tiles, unless she's also got poltergeist powers.
Mhm.
It's never clear, but we can make some assumptions. But then, like you said, Evans apologizes to two girls who were supposedly in the shower, but they're both fully made up and looking like they're ready for a night out, not like they were traumatized in a shower. I'm also pretty sure neither of them were actually shown in the shower scene. And then
they're flirting with him.
Yes.
The two of them, or three of them, they're all flirting.
There's a whole plot line where he like is ready to bang them. He is setting them up like, hey, I'll give you a private tour tomorrow. Can the two of you handle me? And they're like, oh yeah. It's a whole storyline right there. But David even says later in the control room, David even acknowledges that computers can't control the tiles.
Right.
So that could be an acknowledgement that it's poltergeist powers, but it's also an acknowledgement of a potential plot hole in here. But yes, anyways, character arc is very minimal for me.
So I definitely overscored on this one now that we're talking about it, because you're right. It's just some people happen to live at the end, whereas the majority of the main or like even B characters in the story pretty much all die, with the exception of Michael and his now not blind girlfriend at the end, who's all hot and super healed up, looking okay.
It's a miracle.
Like 48 hours later.
It's what the hell sense does that make? But whatever. Go fiction. So, man, yeah, I definitely have to drop my score on this one because, man.
What did you give it? I'm curious. I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like in retrospect, I probably should have given it like a 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on there. There's not a lot of evolution, let's say, of these characters. Although if you think about her drastic recovery, it's like a Christmas miracle. She gets burned in a tanning bed as well, and she's totally fine. So
Yeah, she has a miraculous recovery. So you could acknowledge that. She gets 2 burns within it's hard to tell in this movie because they cut back and forth from the gym to the house.
Days.
Yeah, it's like 48 hours. She gets a chemical burn and then an actual like radiation burn from a tanning bed. Is that radiation? I assume it's radiation. I don't know.
I think so. And
I've
I love
never
that he
used
takes her out and
exposure,
she's not breathing, and he gives her CPR, like one breath, and then she's fine again.
It's magic. And somehow the tanning bed stole her breath. That is fantastic.
Right.
So Aaron, where did you land on your score?
I gave it a 3, but I'm kind of with Jonathan. I think I was probably too generous.
You're coming down to a 1?
Yeah,
I can
probably
edit
a
it
1.
for you. Okay.
Yeah, let's.
We do have Joel's reviews. Joel was supposed to join us, but I don't know where he's at, guys. So, but he gave it a 2. And then Evan out there in the chat, Evan, you got yours? And while we wait for Evan to put it in the chat, I scored it a 0 because the character arc is not compelling for me.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. I'm not putting that one on the screen, Evan. I had Evan's score. Evan, I had your score at a 3. Are you sticking with it? You can stick with it.
I'm
all
thinking yes.
Sticking something.
So then let's go to music sound design. There's really not a whole lot to say about this one. But this is one of the areas that I think this is the least offensive. This is... I actually really enjoy that they combined synths and string arrangements on it. They combined them, and I think it works pretty well most of the time. It is peak 80s sound. It is exactly what I expect.
Oh yeah.
And it's that it is exactly what I expect in the way that it makes me enjoy it more. However, the ADR is noticeably bad at times. When the voiceovers are, there's the first scene in the hospital when Michael is going to check on Catherine and they're in the hallway and there's just that, "Are you here for Catherine?" And it is clearly over the top of that video because his lips don't even match up. It's noticeable. It and then Catherine's voice at the end is ADR'd, and I think they were trying to go for a ghostly effect. I think they were actually trying to modulate and edit her voice, and it didn't exactly come through as believable. So there are those things to consider in my score, but while the music isn't super memorable, we get some, I'm not even sure if they're licensed because I'm AI might make tracks similar to what we hear in this film, but there is some like 80s pop music going on in the background of a lot of scenes, and it makes it fun. It makes it fun. It works for me.
Yeah, nothing really special about the music part of it. I mean, although with the score parts of it, though, I did notice like maybe a little bit of some oboe in there. You know, you had some horns up in that action a little bit. I thought it was kind of cool. Aside from the mix of that the 80s synth and the string stuff, so that kind of added a nice effect, especially like when you are looking at Michael's house. You know, when David shows up being all creepy, you know, trying to get all weird with like, "Oh, I'm going to fix your terminal," and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it works. The rest of it was just kind of there. I didn't really pay much attention. Didn't really catch much with the music. So, it's just kind of whatever.
See you, Travis. Thanks for hanging out. Aaron.
So the music and sound design was the highest score for me. I kind of loved it.
It's understandable.
It was nostalgic. It was fun. It was kind of off kilter at times, but it just sort of worked. Like thinking about all the flaws with the film, the music worked for me. I don't know. I had a good time with it. It was like a perfect match. You know what I mean?
I completely agree with you. Like thinking of the flaws of the film, the music is not one of them. I think the music actually succeeds in places where editing doesn't. You know, I think the music works. So I'm with you. I did just give it a 3. I thought it was good music. I thought it was good. I did take off for the ADR being noticeable. So I gave it a 3.
How about the sound of the frozen fish, though, attacking the detective in the freezer? Oh, how whack was that?
Let's... What is going on with the frozen fish in the freezer?
That doesn't make sense.
Why do you even have that in a spa? I don't understand why you would have big frozen fish in a freezer in a spa.
For the fish smoothies, of course, because it looks like all they're making is smoothies.
Chum smoothie. Okay, sure. No thanks, bro. No thanks. They're gross.
You're like your sardine and pineapple smoothie after your workout. It's a protein shake. It's a protein shake.
Gross, but man. As far as the category though, I'm a 3 on it.
I gave it a 4, but a 4. Like I said, that was the highest score I gave.
We're right there, and I think Evan said at the beginning he also gave it a 3 on the sound design. So awesome. So we're all right there. We're in agreement on the music and sound design. So the editing and special effects, Joel gave it a 3 as well on that one. So the editing and special effects for this film, this is one where, this is, the special effects in this movie are a lot of fun. I actually think some of the makeup is great, and I'll let you interpret great however you want, but I think it's awesome. I think the flying tiles in the bathroom is so over the top. The biggest, I'm not even sure it's the biggest practical effect. The biggest practical effect is probably the hand in the blender, maybe.
That doesn't make any sense, but yes.
No, it's not connected to power. It's they can't pull it off, but it is not being driven by any kind of force other than.
And then it kills her, and then she's dead.
Ghost power, and done.
Like it's like and dead. Like,
again,
well,
poltergeist.
wait a minute.
And the scene with the guy doing this is on the cover, but the cover is more extreme than what's in the movie.
Dude, how do you
I
get
don't
broken
get
ribs
that.
and blood spurting out from your arms coming back like this? That makes
Exactly.
no fucking
I don't-
sense at all.
If
I mean, I can get
anything,
my arms
maybe
back pretty far,
here-
farther than that guy had. Like, the hell, man?
Yeah, but it's like down far lower ribs. It doesn't
Yeah, it's
make
like right here.
It's like his bottom
sense.
ribs were breaking or something. Like, how?
Yeah.
How?
And why couldn't he just take his arms down?
Yeah, right.
He had his
It's like,
arms.
just slide him out. Just, you know.
Yeah,
Were they strapped in or something?
they were strapped
Well, he had
in.
like, he was like, he had his arm up in a slip thing, like you would have like with a
Okay. But even
Kinda strap
so,
thing.
couldn't you pull your
just
arms?
yeah, and
Yes.
something. Gee, that's weak.
That's why I love that scene. It encapsulates everything wrong with this movie. It is like, we have this really cool idea. Let's do it. And then they don't think through all the details of it. Even I put down in my notes, even when that girl is in the basement after she goes to have her salacious rendezvous with Michael.
With Michael.
And
I love that he drew her a map. Like, how big is this gym? Just
I
go
wrote-
to the basement.
Yeah, but the map and the note looks like a toddler drew it.
It's a square of like, I'm here.
Yeah, find me. And she's just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good in the basement. But then she's down there and it starts spraying acid again, I guess. And she just lays on the floor and goes, ow, it hurts.
Just move. Get the fuck out
Get
from
up and
under
run
it.
away.
Jesus.
They didn't go to any effort to, like, her Achilles was cut. She tripped. There was no effort to explain why she can't leave. It's just, I'm getting rained on. And
it wasn't
dies.
even clear that that it was like acid burning, or she just falls to the ground and like starts crawling around.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's melting. There was a little bit of a disconnect there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I said somehow in the basement, the sprinkler systems and pipes start melting this poor girl. I'm not sure how computer controls the plumbing exactly. Again, poltergeist powers. We kind of got to go with this girl is also a poltergeist ghost. But yeah, instead of running, she just screams there and cries that it hurts. And I think she even says like, it's in my eye at one point. Like,
and then she waits like a day to die. The psychic finds her the next day or something, right? She's still alive. And then she dies in that very moment.
I think
finds her.
So interesting that we talk about Chopping Mall, because after we talked about Chopping Mall last year, I arrived at the conclusion that Chopping Mall was intentionally funny.
Mm-hmm.
After watching it, I think Chopping Mall was very aware of itself. I think it put that humor in there on purpose, and it's meant to be funny. This movie, I don't think is meant to be funny. I don't think they were going for intentional humor, because it's not laugh out loud scenes. It's just like, if you stop and think about it, it doesn't add up. So I think that is the difference between these two films.
Yeah, agreed.
But I will, like we were saying, this makes no sense. Why didn't like pop his shoulders out of place and he'll be fine? But the effect was kind of cool. I kind of wish we had gone. Did you have the cover?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I kind of wish we had gone. Let me see if I can blow you up. Full chest burster. Yeah, look like
does it show kind of?
Yeah. I wish
There's
we had
his
gone.
heart in the middle, right? You can see his heart.
Not quite the same thing as what's going on in the movie, but yeah, it's certainly an embellished version of on the cover.
I feel like that image right there is what they base the entire film on. I feel like somebody drew that up and they were like, yes.
Make a movie out of this image.
Yes.
Be creative and make something.
Wet blood.
And we never see anybody on a stair stepper. That girl's on a stair stepper.
Yeah. No, because the gym couldn't afford that.
No, couldn't afford that after all the computer equipment. All right.
There was, before I forget, there was one scene that I think was maybe intentionally funny or trying to be funny, when the one girl is dressed like the ghost and you think, oh my God, this is the ghost of Catherine. And there's this whole scary buildup, and then she just takes the mask off. She's like, what? Don't you like my Halloween costume? So funny. That's the only thing I could think maybe intentionally trying to be funny. but it was just sort of
So
falls flat.
I put in here that whole scene is great because just before we had seen Michael and his current girlfriend Laura with her covered eyes in their house doing that romantic date. And then the next moment we see them, they are in the club. They're at the gym and they're in the locker room where another girl was just murdered moments before. And Michael brings Laura, blinded, injured Laura, into the locker room, abandons her to go to his office instead of just taking her with him. Because he has to go turn off a computer controlled lock. He's got to, let me go turn the lock off. I'll be right back. And so instead of taking her with him and protecting her the whole time, and then we have Darla, who in that moment tries to scare the blind Laura by wearing a mask.
Her Halloween costume.
Wearing a Halloween costume. But then Michael runs in, removes the mask, and then leaves without a word to Laura.
And there's a dead girl in the locker that the blind girl didn't see.
Yeah. And then in the next scene, the very next scene, Michael and Laura are back in his house. They did a little date. They went to the gym for him to go turn off a lock. And then they went back to the house. It doesn't make any sense. But it's a memorable scene. It's a memorable scene. So the practical effects, this is exactly what I hoped this conversation would be, by the way. So don't feel bad.
What about at the end though, when like Catherine's body where she's laying on the floor and like they start shooting her in the head and everything? It's just that messed up corpse and everything.
Oh, the one that gets me that I think is pretty disgusting. It's pretty gross. Is for some reason we have another naked couple in the sauna at the end. While Mardi Gras is going on, two people abscond to the sauna. And while they're there, like they start to make out, and then all of a sudden his head explodes.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Thank you. I love this Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt.
I almost wore my
For
Texas
no reason.
Chainsaw
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, no reason. His head just explodes, and then there's like meat falling on the floor. It was gross. It was a pretty gross scene. But
now she tries to run out, and she gets it too, right? Does her head explode? I can't remember.
So I couldn't tell if it was her or somewhere later, like when the whole gym starts to burn and collapse. There is a random shot of a naked woman running through flames, and I assume it was her. I don't know. Right. It's just
a brain explosion and just
it's just another quick shot of nudity for some reason. Again, it's this movie, man.
To draw the eyes, got to draw the eyes, you know. Follow that through the scene.
It's not enough that in the midst of the carnage and the fire, we gotta also have a naked person running, just so we knew what happened to the person in the sauna. Yes. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has to be.
So for the practical effects, I gave it a 3. I thought they were good. Evan gave it a 4. What did you say, Jonathan?
I'm the same. I'm a 3.
The same. Yeah, me too. I gave it a 3.
Okay. And then Joel gave us a 4 as well. All right. The script. If you can't tell by now, we've kind of been talking about the script the whole time because the script is all over the place on this. Aaron, do you have something to say about it?
I was just going to say, do you think there was a script?
No.
The dialogue was kind of shit. So
if
the dialogue, every scene of the detectives is basically the same. They tell you information that you need to understand either the scene before it or the scene after it. They don't do anything. The detectives don't do a thing. They just repeat information. So, and even in some scenes, they repeat information that they already said in the previous scene.
Right. And the male detective has like these weird cracks about his wife. Like he doesn't like his wife, apparently. But then nothing ever... Go ahead.
Yeah, the one about like, his wife burned to a crisp. Does that make you think? And he goes, yeah, I should start smoking in bed.
Yes, I was like, what did he just
So
say?
weird of a line.
It's so weird.
Oh,
Yeah, he has one-liners that I think. I mean, I used one of them in the intro video for this episode about what a program you have. People like it's so effective. People are disappearing. They're getting so thin, they're disappearing. Like
Yes.
he has a bunch of those one-liners, and I do think for the most part they're pretty funny. It's a dry sense of humor that I do think is funny. But his character, when he's drinking the carob coffee, ugh. But it's relatable. And then somehow he dies by frozen fish to the neck through a poltergeist computer issue. It's fantastic. Yeah, there's other scenes. The parapsychologist, as he calls him, the parapsychologist,
Dr. Murray.
also exists for two reasons. One of them is to explain the childbirth situation that he doesn't even fully explain. And the other is so that he can add to the body count. That's it.
And smoke a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah, chain smoking.
Chain smokes. I kept waiting for a Marlboro product placement or like Virginia Slims or something, whatever they're called. In fact, one thing before I forget, this movie would be a perfect drinking game for product placement.
Oh,
I actually had my eyes out once I started to catch on. Let me read through these. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yes,
if you don't mind.
Do it.
We had McDonald's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, which I thought was interesting. V8 juice, which was unexpected. Lay's potato chips. Wilson, the Wilson football. NFL, the NFL logo shows up at 1.2. Nike, they're all wearing Nike clothing, workout clothing. And AT&T had a spot too.
Really?
So there you go. If you're looking for a drinking game, product placement in Death Spa.
I love that. That sounds kind of fun.
it's noteworthy. Yeah, sounds like a
That
good
sounds
night
fun.
with some friends.
Yes. Yeah.
I also put there's
Off
that
topic.
weird scene before we understand what's going on with Catherine and David. Where we're panning across, it appears to be a bedroom, and we're seeing like discarded pieces of clothing and whatever, and we hear two voices talking, and it's clearly one male and one female. And then they're like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 blah. And then it sounds like moaning and and then do you know the scene I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, it was really creepy when he's sitting there getting himself made up and everything. He's got the makeup on,
Yeah.
and he's got the nightgown or whatever, and it kind of creeped me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, what the
It's
hell?
weird. It's weird. It is a weird scene.
Kind of a Bates Motel thing, you know.
It was.
Norman and his mom, but it's brother and sister this time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I put like we have that scene that I showed at the beginning where this is really all script related, where the detectives walk into the office and they ask about a missing girl. And then in the very next scene, Evans is with the paranormal investigator and the detectives are gone. Like this movie just makes jumps because it is going from scene to scene to scene. And like Aaron said, do I think there is a script? I'm not entirely sure. I think they had scenes.
Mm-hmm.
They had some scenes and they didn't exactly know how they were all connected.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's evidence. My favorite line, I almost put this as the intro, but it's the most famous line from this movie too, is besides, I'm Beta, you're VHS. Like, it's so good. It's so good
today. Still good today.
Yep. What do you guys think about the script?
I don't have much to say. Like I said, it's kind of dumb for the most part. Like I said, I wasn't really keen on a lot of the dialogue. I mean, it was kind of serviceable and it kind of strings you along, even though there's a lot of gaps and stuff.
Yeah. Aaron?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, was there even a script? I felt like the whole backstory with the wife, the ex-wife, I guess, was very flimsy at best. But I don't know. I don't think they were trying to be an intellectual drama by any means. So at least they kind of knew what they were. And like
Yeah.
Tim, like you said, there was nudity or blood splatter every 10 minutes, and they just kind of embraced that. And I think that's why. I mean, look, we're still talking about this movie decades later, so that's something, right? That's something to be said. So
Yes, and I think you're entirely right. I think they embraced that whole, like, I guess maybe today the shock value has worn off, but maybe in 1988, I also think the straight to VHS crowd, the shock value of this would have been semi-memorable,
oh yeah, yeah.
Also,
Go ahead.
the Hillary Banks thing, that just she got the job on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because of this movie. That's crazy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Karen Parsons, yeah, she's one of the two who like wasn't in the shower but was in the shower. According to the actual scene, she wasn't. According to the dialogue, she was. So,
and the girl who was wearing the mask, is that the same actress? She went on to do like Law and Order or something.
That was,
and I think she was in Prison, right? Isn't there a horror movie called Prison?
I'm not sure. That was Darla. Darla was the one with the mask. That was his.
Okay.
That was his assistant, who we found out was responsible for the diving board incident and the initial gas in the opening scene. She took credit for that, even though she wasn't there for the gas at the scene, because they went out of their way to tell us that. And then the camera literally shows us the screws undoing themselves on the diving board. But somehow
it doesn't add up.
Yeah,
right?
somehow it was Darla. She takes credit for it.
Darla did it again.
Yep. Oh, Darla. So all right. I'm sure we'll bring up more things as we go that all go back to the script. I gave the script a 1. I thought the script was it's pretty terrible. Actually, yeah, is 1. 1 is bad. It's pretty bad. 1 is bad. 2 is okay. So the script is just bad. It makes leaps, jumps, scenes that don't need to exist. There's that whole scene where David goes to Michael's house and visits with Laura.
Creeps her out and shit.
Yeah, and he just creeps her out. We see him accept groceries from someone
who works at the gym.
Yeah, accepts groceries from someone at Michael's house. And the girl who delivers the groceries goes, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you here." And she runs away like she's like, "Oh, I need to let Michael know." But the next scene is Michael already driving home and finding the groceries. And then we just get a fake out death of Laura on the couch. And it's said that David was there to do something with his terminal. But
he was coding.
Yeah. But nothing ever comes of that scene other than the fake out death of Laura. We don't get anything about the terminal. We don't get anything about that girl who saw David and ran away. We don't get the scene of Michael realizing that Laura is alone with David and being like, "Oh crap, I need to get home and save her." We don't get any of that from that scene. So that scene could be deleted from the film and not impact anything.
That's what I would say, yeah.
Yeah, and that is unfortunately, that's kind of the gist of this movie. There are a bunch of scenes that you could probably delete and it's still gonna play just fine. So that's why I'm a 1. I'm a 1 on the script.
I'm going down on my score. I'm changing it to a 2.
2.
I went with a 2. I did a 2. So I'll stay with a 2.
Yeah, it wasn't that horrible, but like that whole part, that dialogue between David and Laura, though, when he's creeping her out the house, that was decent. That worked out pretty well. So I think that led to it being somewhat having a script, so it's all right.
And a lot of the scenes themselves are structured well. It's just as a whole, they don't all fit together as well as you would expect.
Yeah. And Evan says that they cut a lot
I
out of this
remember.
movie. And Evan, I would like to see all those scenes put back in because maybe it'd make more sense. Maybe it would fill in some of these gaps.
Well, this edition says it's the uncut and uncensored from the uncut and uncensored camera negative. So
How
I don't
long?
know.
How long is
I'm
it?
trying to see. It's 87 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, that's the version I watched too. So
Hmm.
87 minutes. That checks out. Well, yeah. So we miss some stuff, but
Yeah.
there are some things that I put in here that just script wise, direction wise, editing, those are all kind of going hand in hand on this movie. There's a scene where the staff are told to keep an eye out for someone dressed like Catherine
Yeah.
instead of shutting down the party. They just tell you to look like someone who resembles her.
It's
And
David
then-
Drag. Look out for him.
Yeah, he could be in drag. And then the detectives show up and he immediately grabs like a blonde girl and is like, oh, I thought I knew you. While the real Catherine walks right by him.
By
Like the-
everyone, no one notices her.
No one notices her. No one notices. They're all supposed to be on the lookout. He's grabbing random blonde chicks that he thinks are Catherine, but ignores the real Catherine wearing a ghostly white shroud walking through the
right
crowd.
through.
Yep. Anyways, that's why I'm a 1. I'm getting excited about this movie. Okay, so acting. All right, so the acting, I'll be honest, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. The lead guy, Michael, actually ran a gym. He has real life experience in running gyms. I'm not sure he had much real life experience in acting, but he did for running the gym. And we already mentioned, I think the big takeaway here, Karen Parsons literally getting the role in Fresh Prince because of this movie is insane to me. I just think that's hilarious that some producer was watching this on late night TV and it was like, that girl, yeah, let's get her out.
I'm looking her up.
But I'm
now.
trying to
Oh
see.
yeah, you're right. There she is.
Yeah.
That's funny. She
But
was a
then we
major
had
pain.
Merritt
Major
Buttrick,
pain.
who we had Buttrick, who this was his last role, I think. Although it does say he did some TV. It's one of his last roles, I should say. But Buttrick, who played David, was in a bunch of Star Trek stuff. He was in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. He was in Star Trek The Next Generation TV series. He did a lot of like TV series, the 1987 Beauty and the Beast. So he did some stuff, but
Oh my god, I didn't
Yeah.
know. That's so sad. He was only 29 years old.
yeah.
He died of AIDS. Wow.
Hmm.
That's too bad. And who was he in the movie?
Yeah. He was David. He was the twin brother.
The twin brother. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so sad.
And then we had the detective was played by Francis McCarthy, who he was in the movie The Relic. He's actually in Interstellar for you Christopher Nolan buffs out there. He was in The Man with Two Brains from 1983. He's done he was on NCIS. He's done a bunch of little bit parts, but yeah, he was Boots in Interstellar, which is crazy.
Oh, he was in Summer
Bates.
Rental too. Yeah.
Yeah, Bates Motel, Supernatural. So he did quite a bit. So there's some decent actors in this, and I feel bad for rating them what I did because maybe it's the script's fault and not the actor's fault.
you want me to jump in?
Go ahead.
Yeah, phenomenal cast. Chelsea Field was the one that I was thinking of. So she is Darla. She was in. It's amazing if you look at her resume. She was in The Dark Half. She was in Masters of the Universe, Commando.
We're doing Masters of the Universe later this season.
Yeah.
He was Tila in Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
She's in NCIS. I mean, it's just look at all The Dark Half.
She was in 21 episodes of NCIS. She had a regular recurring.
Yeah, she's and she was in Prison. That's the movie, the 80s movie I was thinking of.
Okay.
Rennie Harlan, who did Nightmare on Elm Street 4?
Yeah, and who did the recent Strangers trilogy?
Really. I haven't seen the second one. I know people are hating on it.
I've heard the third is better than the other two, but I'm gonna wait till they're all out and watch it as one continuous movie, which is how film.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So Evan says acting was a 3, but the script makes it hard to do much.
I gave acting a 3 too.
Okay. I'm also a 3.
And I am going to come up. I gave it a 2, but I do think it's more the script's fault than it is the actors. Joel also gave it a 2. So, all right, on to the direction. This one is tricky because typically direction is how well we bring all of these elements together for the final product, how the final vision, how well does the director execute it. And I think the hard part about this is it's not good. Like, it's not classy direction. It is not high art that this director is going for. And that's fine. I think he does some things that elevate the movie a little bit more than a lot of straight to VHS affair. For one, we have a great opening shot. I love the opening shot kind of going over the LA skyline and then slowly panning down and then panning down, seeing the exterior of the gym and then continuing into the front doors and giving us a tour of the gym. And it's a long shot. It takes probably 2 minutes of the shot. It works for me. I think it's pretty good. And there are other scenes where, like we were talking about, there's that scene where David and his sister are talking and it's a continuous shot and they're just kind of panning across all of these elements that are supposed to help put together the clues for us, and they don't. So I think he succeeds on that. He succeeds on the gym life, capturing that kind of over the top high, I don't know, just the extreme fancy 80s gym. He captures that decently. The movie's colorful. The movie is fast paced. And I do think they were going for that kind of schlock value of we need boobs or blood every 10 minutes. I think that was like the rule, because I think it was the rule more because the final product has scenes where, like, okay, how did Michael just get from this scene to this scene with zero explanation? Where did the detectives that he was just talking to vanish? And I think it's because they were like, hey, something's got to happen. Give us one of the B's. So, yeah.
Go for it. You can talk about direction all you want. Like, it's not my good thing, and I'm having like really bad allergy issues right now. Like,
oh no, yeah, I was wondering. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, you see me wiping tears. It's not because of how bad the movie is. It's just that my allergies are kicking the shit out of me today.
Oh gosh,
weather
that's
out
horrible.
here, and
I'm
light
changing
sensitivity issues I'm having. Like,
I'm changing the YouTube thumbnail to say the movie that brought Jonathan to tears.
Tears. Right? It was directed so well.
Yes,
crying.
It was
masterpiece.
Oh my gosh. One thing about living in the Northeast this time of year, it's freezing out there. It's like 12 degrees outside. So there are no allergies for me, and I'll take it.
You.
It was like
my face right now. God.
It was 3 degrees outside yesterday. Today was almost 40, so that was nice. But
okay, what are we talking about? Direction.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I gave it a 3. I again, going back to the fun factor, I think So here, let me say this. This seems like a film where everyone on set was having an absolute blast. Like this was a lot of fun, and they knew it was kind of dumb fun, and they kind of leaned into that. And I'd like to think that, I mean, it could have been an awful vibe on set. I have no idea, but I'd like to think that the director sort of created that fun energy, that fun vibe, and it kind of bleeds through. Watching it, it seems like everyone involved here had a lot of fun with it, and if that is true, then I would attribute that to the director, who's the one who's supposed to be in charge of everything, sort of creating that atmosphere. And I have no idea. Like I said, I wasn't there, so who knows?
Yep.
Maybe they all hated each other.
That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point. I gave it a 3 as well because I don't think the direction is necessarily, ultimately he's responsible for the final product is the way I view it, even though yes, we know a studio can interfere, but yes. I think he made some smart decisions in like, hey, this script is pretty light, so let's keep it visually engaging. It's colorful, it's fast, and it is fun. So I think he succeeds in that department. So I give it a 3. Good.
Did he write it? I'm looking it up. He did not write it. There were actually 2 screenwriters.
which just blows my mind.
How funny is okay.
So there's 2 people.
This one screenwriter only did one other thing, and that was called What's Happening Now. He wrote 1 episode of that and Death Spa. Well, Mitch Paradise did a few other things.
Mitch Paradise wrote an episode of Remington Steele. He did some TV shows, but not a ton.
Remington Steele, Jake and the Fat Man.
Oh yeah, Jake and the Fat Man.
I heard that a long
so
time.
It makes you wonder, the director, Michael Fisher, what was it about this script? He's like, hell yeah, I'm filming this movie.
Yeah, and it was, I think it was his idea.
Oh, and
because he was living. Well, yeah, I don't know why he didn't write the script, but he was living in LA, and he said at the time gyms were popping up everywhere and putting each other out of business.
And you said that, okay.
Yeah, and so he was just kind of inspired to do this movie because of that. But he's still working. He directed, I don't know, this looks like this looks like it might be scandalous.
2023, yeah.
Yeah, the most recent thing, Rice Girl. That looks terrible. Rice Girl Goes to Hollywood is his most recent. Rice Girl before that. He has done some other horror movies. Dead Time Stories Volume 1, Dead Time Stories Volume 2, White Screech. Death Spa was his first. He followed this up with My Mom's a Werewolf.
I think I remember that movie.
Which that's a PG 1989 horror film. Yeah. It looks like it'd be a ton of fun, in all honesty. And it's got it's got John Saxon, detective from Black Christmas.
Yes, of course.
Sheriff from Nightmare on Elm Street. It's got him in it. So, and the poster is a knockoff of The Graduate, which is awesome. But
don't forget the bees. There he is, right there.
Oh,
my bees are right here. My movies are alpha.
But yeah,
but Rice Girl goes to Hollywood. Pat Morita is in it from Karate Kid.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And Michael Cove, who was in all the Karate Kid films.
Yeah.
Why is this labeled as a TV series?
Michael Cove. Cool.
That's crazy.
He actually just did one of those, you know how like you can pay a celebrity to like make a special message for you for like an event or birthday thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. So the martial arts school that I trained and got my black belt out in Illinois, National Christ School, Chicago, they had him do a video like one of those things for the anniversary of the martial arts school, which is pretty cool. And like they just got like the Master Nelson, who runs the Chicago branch for National Karate, just got like a huge award for his contribution to martial arts, and then got like another special message from him for that, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I think those are cameos.
Yeah, cameo. That's what it is. Yeah,
we got 2 cameos for our wedding.
Oh, okay, cool. You pay
Yeah.
them, right? And they'll give you a shout out or something.
Yep.
Yes.
You pay and they'll send you a little personalized video, and some of them are clearly just reading a script and swapping out names. We got 2 for our wedding.
Yes.
One of them was like a script where they changed the names. The other one was very like casual, personal, and really cool. So they are cool gifts. Those things are awesome. All right. I think that wraps up direction. Jonathan, did you give your score on it?
3.
3. We're 3s all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And so was Joel. And then Evan also was a 3. The it factor and the cultural significance of this film.
Sure. I can't say that it really has much of a cultural significance, really.
I can tell you my score right now because there's not a lot to talk about on this one. I gave it a 1, and I gave it a 1 because we would not have Karen Parsons in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
I didn't want to
without
say
this
it.
movie. That is it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. So I gave it a 1, and we're still talking about it today. I don't see it making anybody's like, this is my favorite, whatever list. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but I do see it talked about. I think more people should be talking about this movie, but that's why we brought it up. That's why I put it on this year's list, because this movie it's one I go back to. Evan gives it a 2 on cultural significance as well.
See, I didn't know anything about this movie until I saw it was on our list for this season. So, bleh.
This is one of the ones that I was like, "Ooh, Jonathan's either gonna hate this or he's gonna have fun with it." I was curious to see what you think.
I don't hate it as much as I hate certain films we've covered, but
Yeah.
it's getting on the list there.
I don't know. You guys you're gonna hate me. I actually
No.
gave it I gave it a 4 because I thought it's like a time capsule of the 80s. So funny story. I was watching it the other night in my basement, and my teenage son came in and he said, "Wow, did people actually dress like that?" And it was one of the scenes where the guy had like leg warmers up to his knees and they were all dancing in the studio. I was like, they did. And so I feel like that kind of gives it a cultural presence and sort of an it factor, just for the sake of capturing that time period so well.
That's absolutely fair, because, and now that you mention it, I put in my notes something about like early on in the scene, the girl who gets smacked by the diving board. She's like, we see all the spandex around in the weight room, and this girl's just, I was like, I know like the spandex was out of control in the gym scene in the 80s. But she's literally just wearing a swimsuit in the weight room.
Right. That's it.
Yeah, she's just wearing a swimsuit. I put that in my notes. But yeah, I think you actually...
So I don't know. Maybe I misinterpreted it.
No, I think you made a good case, and I'm actually willing... I'm going to come up to a 2, because it does capture that cultural gym craze of the 80s better than any movie I've ever seen. Like, there are movies that have the gym in them in the 80s. There's not a movie like this, though, that's
Not
like...
what's centered around it specifically.
Yes. Oh, we've got the shake bar here. You can get a smoothie bar right there. You can get the smoothie.
Yes.
We got coffee.
We've got one elliptical here in the corner.
We've got saunas. We've got custom key card. Like, yeah, I haven't seen a movie that really captures that. So I agree with you. I'm going to come up to a 2 on mine.
I'm not changing mine. I'm staying at 1.
That's fine.
That's fine.
It would have been funnier because, like, when you think about gym culture and all the different workout equipment and different things that have come out over the years and how they kind of make their way back is just being rebranded and stuff. I saw one the other day that's being advertised online a lot, and it's 2 separate things. They've got a handle, a large spring, and a rounded knob cap at the end that you wave back and forth like this, like they're giant dildos that you're just springing around. They're supposed to simulate doing one of those the ropes the ropes in the gym that you do. Yeah, to flip the ropes, but it just looks like two giant spring dildos that you're swinging around. That would have made a little more impact in the film if they had something like that to make me laugh a little more. Cool.
Have you seen the clips where the newscasters will do that? They'll hand like these workout things, and I don't even want to simulate it, but
the shake weight.
Just do this. Oh my god!
I
just air jacking it, with the shake weights in the studio. Oh yeah, this is so great. Oh,
I can feel it in my muscles.
we like to take the occasional trip to Goodwill thrift stores around here, and
look for those.
We went in, and there was just a shake weight on the shelf, and I picked this thing up, and I'm like, "What is this for? This is it. That's it. That's all it does. That is all it does." And they got people were going crazy about the shake weight for a while.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
What are you doing? I don't know how that ever passed. How that was on TV. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do the overall. How entertained were you? Where does this land on your list? Who wants to go first? I can tell you, Joel gave it a 3. He was not super entertained with it. Maybe that's why he's not here.
That's fair.
I don't know.
So for me though, I had a hard time keeping focus on it. I would watch. I kind of like look at my phone, keep looking at my phone. It was hard to just really watch it straight, So, I mean, there was some cool stuff, some goofy shit, make me laugh a little bit, but like some of the just how bad some of the parts of the plot were just really didn't hit for me. So it's something I could watch. Certainly wouldn't recommend again to anybody. Don't care. It's not something I'd be interested in trying to watch again in the future. So, for me, I usually don't score this low, but I just had a hard time wanting to keep focus on it. So I went with a 6.
Hey, that's fair. That's fine. Evan, it looks like also gave it a 6. So Aaron, you want to go?
Yeah, I gave it high because I gave it an 8. I have a lot of fun with it. I love it for what it is, and I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I love that all this shit happens in the gym, and then everyone just like moves on. It's kind of like the gym culture today, right? If you're on the machine and your ribs split open, there's going to be a guy be like, "Are you done with the machine yet?"
Yeah.
Right? It's my turn, bro. Come on, hurry up. Wipe down the seat.
Yeah, wipe down the seats. Get your blood off of it.
How many more sets do you have? Right? I'm joking. God, they sure make gym going seem like a lot of fun in this movie, except when you're getting killed. When you're getting killed, it's not so fun. But I don't know. So 8 for me. I enjoyed it.
These people in the movie live in the gym. Like for 2 whole days, we see these characters there constantly. They must not have jobs, or it's Saturday or something, because
gym rats.
Yeah, they're just there all the time.
Yeah.
But most of the time they're not working out. Most of the time it's female characters in the locker room, the sauna, or the pool.
Hanging out, yeah. The Olympic-sized pool. There's no way
that at the spa.
The Olympic-sized pool.
All right, so this is where it gets crazy, guys. I think horror is at its most successful when it does one of 2 things. We kicked off the season by talking about Bring Her Back, which disturbs me on multiple levels and is a fantastic film. That's one way that horror is successful. That's fantastic. The second way that horror is successful is being extremely entertaining. And that is this movie for me. And I give it a 10 because 10 for me is to turn around and watch it again. I gave Bring Her Back 9 because I don't want to watch it again. It's a rough watch. It's hard to watch. However, the quality of that movie makes the final score much higher. The final score on this one is not that high, but my enjoyment of this movie, this is a movie I can throw on in the background anytime. This is a movie I can sit down and watch, and I'm going to laugh at it for its absurdity. It's got that 80s, it is the 80s time capsule, like Aaron was saying. We got cheesy synth music. We've got spandex out the butt. It's everywhere. It's we have one of the two Bs happening on screens every 10 minutes. So it is constant stimulation. I have a ton of fun with this. Even Michael living in like the ultra modern 80s apartment with like glass tables and metal and all that. It's just so cheesy. It's over the top, and I have so much fun with it. So then our final scores, Joel, his total was a 24, so 2.5 stars out of 5. And then, did Evan? Yes, Evan gave it a 6. I think I put that up already. Evan gave it a 6. And which brings Evan's total score is a 33, Evan. And then, Aaron, do you have your total?
How do I find my total? I have the
I can
email.
tell. Okay, I can. Yeah, the email doesn't total it. It gives you everything else.
No,
You're
I
a 30.
don't know.
You're a 30.
30.
Yep. So 3 out of 5 stars. Jonathan?
I think after my changes, I'm down to a 25.
That's correct. So you're 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then I am a 29. So I am also basically 3 out of 5 stars. And I didn't do the math ahead of time. So let me do we need like the Jeopardy music while I add this up to get
While
the
you're
total.
doing the math, you mentioned his 80s apartment. Did you notice how like the dining room table was like on this weird platform? But then like a couple of the chairs are like this close to the edge. It's like a 6-foot drop. Imagine having a dinner party and someone off the ledge they go, right?
Yep. Oh,
but it was so 80s. That's why
that
I'm on that.
I also think about the scene when David shows up and is talking to Laura, and he goes to the desk, but the desk is like suspended between 2 wires. It's not on actual legs. It's got anchors holding it up. I'm like, this must have been like the director's house. This wasn't a set.
Yes,
this is
something. I bet you're right. Yeah.
It wasn't a desk. It was a hanging bed.
That's
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Probably. It seems like there would be one.
Double purpose, you know.
Yeah. So the final average for this comes out to a 28.2 or a 28, which would actually round to a 30 out of 50 or 3 stars out of 5. And this is one where I do think, so our whole like tagline is movie reviews for social settings. And I think you get a bunch of horror nerds together. I use that term lovingly. I'm some people take offense to nerd. I'm proudly a nerd, so I'm fine with that. You get a bunch of them together. This movie is going to be a blast. This movie is going to work. It's going to be fun. You're going to be laughing together. Do the drinking game that Aaron brought up. Like, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. This is a perfect movie to kind of watch with other horror B movie loving friends. This movie works for that. And if you're sitting down with people who are like, Christopher Nolan is the best director that I've ever like, they're not going to like this, and that's fine. Yeah. It's not for them. It's not for them. So I do think the 3 out of 5 is fair, because I think there's a lot of enjoyment to be had in this kind of garbage film.
Mm-hmm. I just had an idea to take the drinking game one step further. Yep. So not only product placement, nudity and blood. So anytime those items come up,
you're getting trashed. You're getting trashed.
Right. But how much fun would that be with a group of folks? Like, oh my God, Pepsi. I love the V8 juice placement. That was the last thing I expected to see.
You would have to drink like Seagram's wine coolers, because they're only 4%. That way you can walk out of there, because you're going to be drinking constantly.
Shots of Boone's Farm, Mad Dog 2020.
Perfect for the 80s, right? Get some Bartles and James.
Now,
Seagrams.
It's I was every time an asparagus is eaten seductively, finish your drink. All right, Jonathan, are you ready to read us out? Is that it?
I got no more comments on this one for now.
Aaron,
I'm good, man. I said everything I wanted to.
All right.
Thank you. What were you going to ask me, though?
Nope. Thank you for joining us. That's all. And I'll give you a chance to plug your stuff here in our in our exit. So, Evan, thanks for hanging out in the chat and joining us. And Travis.
We'll miss
All right,
him.
Jonathan, go for it.
All right, there you have it, folks. The scores are in, the audience has spoken, and Death Spa has officially been processed. Whether you call it a practical effects extravaganza or you're still sticking with the international title, which bitch? One thing is for sure, we are never looking at a gym blender the same way again.
Huge thank you to Aaron for joining us tonight. It was a blast. So, Aaron, if you want to go ahead and plug, tell people where to find you and what you do and all the good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say, though, you two are awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I was looking forward to this all week, and like always, it was a total blast. You guys are amazing. I had a good time. Let's see. So you can find me on YouTube, A&B Horror Movies. I've got a couple videos coming up. I've got Bad Things with the director and producer and one of the actors. That'll be coming up next week. I got to sit down with Mickey Keating and Joe Swanberg to talk about Invader. That's coming up as well. And Martijn Smits to talk about Meat Kills. And I did my last two videos with the Dream Eater, with the directors and actors, and John Berardo talking about the mannequins. So that's the latest with my YouTube channel.
Insane.
And you can also find me on Instagram at Aaron's Movies 8587, where I post all my physical media collection and love for horror movies. And that's where I met you guys. So yeah, that's how you can find me. Again, thank you so much for having me on. You guys are rock stars. So much fun.
Thanks. That was high praise. I appreciate that.
I think we are about... Yes, thank you so much. I think we are about a year away from your very first time joining us when we first connected, because we reviewed Wolfman last year, and that was our first episode together. But that was like a February release, I think. So,
and we did one in between, right? Pumpkinhead.
Yep.
Pumpkinhead. Yeah. Okay. So this is our third. Very cool.
Yeah, we did Pumpkinhead for Halloween.
Yeah,
we did. And then always a regular over at the Dread broadcast. He's there every month. So,
of course.
All right, but Aaron is an absolute pro. So, Aaron, thank you again. You made surviving this workout a whole lot easier.
Well, there you have it,
very
folks.
Welcome.
Hell yeah. So we'll be updating the Season 4 leaderboard on our letterbox tonight. Go check it out to see exactly where Death Spa has landed and how it's stacking up against the rest of our lineup.
But don't get too comfortable, because in 2 weeks, we are trading the Haunted Gym for a high-speed locomotive. We are reviewing the 2022 action extravaganza Bullet Train, starring Brad Pitt.
Love that movie. I am so excited for this one. It's so much fun. It's neon drenched, it's fast paced, and it's got a cast of assassins that might actually be crazier than the ghost of a vengeful spa owner. We're going to find out if the style outweighs the substance when we put it through the scorecard next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 Central. So be there to join us.
If you enjoyed the show, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and keep those scorecards coming in. We love seeing how your averages compare to ours.
So until next time, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Tim.
This has been The Average,
where the real review happens with your friends. We'll catch you on the train.
Woohoo! Choo-choo!